Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network with Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams, and really over the next few shows and probably beyond that, we'll be catching up on all the things that you got to see. Hopefully you've been watching them on our YouTube channel and at HAN.network, but all the things that we did, all the interviews that we covered out on the road as we did our FCAC tour for the fall sports. And Don, we've talked with so many good schools, so many great programs as we get ready for a big season. FCAC still about a week away from getting underway. The rest of Connecticut really beginning to get going this week.
It's an exciting time of year, you know. It's like the preseason, you know, when pitchers and catchers report and hope springs eternal. All across the state, kids are working hard, about ready to get their fall seasons underway. It's just an exciting time to be covering local sports.
There's a nervousness that goes with the opening night of any season, and I know we'll experience it. In fact, this Friday we'll have the Butterflies as we do our first football game, not even in Connecticut. We'll go across the line to cover our Lewisboro Ledger team, the John Jay Indians, as they take on the Yorktown Huskers over in Yorktown Heights, New York, 7 o'clock Friday night, 6:50 pregame. But, you know, there are always those butterflies. I don't care where I am. I don't care what the game is, that first game of every season, and especially football. Because to me, you know, summer can be hit or miss. We were very busy in summer, but there's still something about football season. The kickoff of the first game, to me, it's a new year.
Those Friday night lights are special, particularly, as I've always said, because it doesn't happen very often. You don't play 20 games, you play 10. In some cases, you play 9, and every one is crucial, and it's just you've been waiting all summer for it. It's time to finally kick off.
Yep, so we'll deal with those emotions later in the week, but for now, with AJ Simonowski and Mario Recupito helping us out today, we will bring you some clips from our FCAC tour. First up, I think there's an interesting football team coming up at Bridgeport Central. The Hilltoppers are a program that, under Dave Catalina, certainly throughout the 20-aughts, if you will, always had the level of, you know, they kind of lingered right around here. Then they'd get a run to an FCAC championship game or a state tournament run, and then they'd kind of bottom back down. But always some good athletes. Coach Catalina did a great job. He, of course, stepped down. They've got a new man at the helm, and I think this is a football team that, you know, could be interesting.
It could be, as you mentioned. They've got the athletes. They've always got talent on the field. They've had coaching, and they've just come tantalizingly close on a number of occasions. They had a good 5-year run with a great rivalry with Trumbull High School. They just couldn't get past Greenwich on a couple of occasions, and you know, it's exciting. I'm excited to see if they can finally get over the hump this year. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but it's going to be a thrill to watch.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, FCAC championship game lost to Greenwich one year. I think that was 2004, and then a few years ago, I believe they went and played Staples in the championship game. Had a close one there. I think they lost 14-10, a big catch down the stretch, but jarring the memory bank there. But in any event, nice chat we had with these guys at Central High School. The Hilltoppers looking for a big year, hopefully some good stuff going on. It's a new look around Bridgeport, although Harding and Bassick still on their schedule. Even though those two teams have now left the FCAC, they will still play the Hilltoppers this year. So let's have that chat. Let's hear from the football players at Bridgeport Central. They've been playing football at Kennedy Stadium and at Bridgeport Central High School for a long time, and their head coach, Mike Farrell, stands alongside me with his players, Harrison Tagnadong, the captain, Kyle Petway, center nose tackle, as well as Gerald DeWitt Smith, a halfback, as well as a cornerback. And Coach, I'm going to start with you. First year on the job. Of course, you've been here a while, so you're familiar with the program. There is a great tradition here. Dave Catalina really built a fine program, at least when I came along in the late 90s, 2000s. What are you thinking as you get ready for your first year at the helm?
Well, you know, you mentioned already, Dave's kind of set the standard here, and we've kind of lost our way the last couple of years, and we're trying to kind of rebuild that winning culture here, and so far the attitude has been great. The kids are all on board, and we're just trying to get better every day, and we'll be ready to go.
The FCAC is a very unforgiving conference, as you know. What do you think as you get ready to jump into that?
Well, I'm trying to get a little bit of sleep, so I try not to think about every team. Right now, we're just worried about us and trying to get better every day, and pretty soon we'll turn our eyes to week 1 with West Hill, and I'm sure Frank and his staff will have their guys ready, and we'll just try to take them one at a time.
We'll shoot over to Bill Bloxham. Bill.
Harrison, one of the captains. What have you guys done in the off season trying to get ready for the season? We had weightlifting, conditioning. And that's pretty much it. And we also went over plays.
Do you have to walk the halls and look for players?
Yes, all the time.
Any of them worked out so far?
Sometimes, yeah, a couple.
I have a question about offensive linemen. I'm just in love with them. I just think, within a team, you guys have to be a team. You guys all have to know what you're doing. You have to be on the same page at all the time. You're almost like your own little team. You get no credit for anything. You just got to say, I'm working hard, I'm working hard. How hard is it for you as a senior to get that continuity going with the new linemen with you?
I don't feel it's hard at all. They just come out here, they want to play, and we're going to play.
Rob?
Kai, over to you. And a big year, of course, for you as you come in. Tell me about the excitement of getting things on the right track here at Central.
We're just trying to win games, and focus on each game one by one. That's how you have to take it to win games. You can't focus on the whole schedule. You have to take it one by one. And right now, we're just trying to get the team prepared for week 1 and for just the season right now.
How has preparation been going? How's practice been coming along?
Preparation has been going good. People have been showing up, working hard, and practice has been good. It's been hot out here, obviously, as you know, but practice has been very good. Everybody was working hard and showing up, so that's pretty good at the end of the day.
Gerald, how big's your playbook?
Oh, it's really big. Like really
You're
big.
one of the skill guys. You're
Yeah.
one of the skill guys. You have to know what's going on there.
Yeah, for A-backs, we have a lot of formations and a lot of pitch relationships to work on and stuff like that.
Does that keep you going at night when you get home?
Yeah, I try to think about it a lot to keep my mind clear on what to do and get ready for a game and stuff like that.
After all the conditioning, is it good to be out in pads again?
Yeah, it feels good. Senior year, ready to hit some people, touchdowns.
Coach, what kind of offense will you be running this year? Without giving the playbook away.
Yeah, well, there's so many rule changes, so we spent most of spring ball, figured out if there's still 11 on the field or 10 or 12. So we figured out there was 11, so we'll have an 11-man offense out there.
I like that answer. I'm going to get the same answer on defense, right?
Absolutely.
I love it.
You're not the 8-man Iowa team anymore.
No.
You would have loved that.
It's a good time for you guys, and congratulations on this position, and best of luck to you this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We'll appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Gentlemen, hope to see you down the road. Give us a reason to definitely want to come check you out.
You're gonna see everybody get hit. You're gonna see my hard hitters. That's the more important thing to me.
That's beautiful. Hard hitting Central.
Harrison, do you know why you guys are called the Rams? I just actually found that out. I looked on your website. The Hilltoppers were from like way back, and one of the newspapers called you guys the Hilltops will be looking to defeat Greenwich or somebody like that. And then later on, because there were Rams on that hill, they started calling you the Rams.
Facts
For
you
what it's
learn.
worth.
The facts you learn here, and actually, I will add, if you ever want to check it out, the Hilltoppers have a really good history on their website, on their football website. So go check it out sometime. You learn a lot. That's where I've learned a lot about them,
Yes.
Bill, over
Yep.
the years. They do have a great history stretching back, as I said, many years, and some of those rivalries will continue with even the departed FCAC teams, Bassick and Harding. So that's good stuff as well. We thank all these guys for joining us. Mike Farrell, the head coach. Harrison Tagnadong is the O-line and defensive line. He's a captain. Kai Petway, the center and nose tackle. And Gerald DeWitt-Smith. We're going to see him scoring some points and running the ball this year. We thank them for joining us on the HAN Network at Bridgeport Central High School. Our thanks to the guys at Bridgeport Central. That was our first stop on a very long tour that got us to almost every FCAC school. We did visit every FCAC school, but we came away with interviews at all except one. So really, it was a great stretch of programming for us, and Central was a perfect way for us to kick it off.
And I'll be rooting for them. I always like to see the city schools doing well. The kids that are in that program, they work hard. They have, challenges that maybe some of the other kids don't. But I love to see it when the city schools do well.
And it inspires more kids to come out and play for these programs. And look, I'm not trying to pander to them. I like seeing it. It's good stuff. It's good football too.
It is good, and it teaches the life lessons that hard work and teamwork can pay off. So
absolutely.
Good luck, Central.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen players, Kriston Gill and a few others, make it on to some really good college programs and even more. So fingers crossed for a big year for Central. Next up, though, we head down to Norwalk High School and visit with the Bears. And, field hockey is still, I think, for many of us, a sport we're all trying to kind of get our arms around.
We'll see. It should be. Sometimes the games are exciting. Sometimes the broadcasts are exciting.
So let's check in with the Norwalk Bears, the field hockey program right here on Nutmeg Sports. The field hockey team here at Norwalk High School says they want to give 100% effort, a perfect effort, in fact. We're joined by 3 members of the team right now.
Gracie Bradley, Sarah Roddy, Lauren Capone.
Gracie, I'll start with you. You wrote down that that's the team's motto. Well, okay. How do we make it happen?
By giving 100% effort in everything we do, like at practices and games, and really just from start to finish, not letting up at all.
Next up is S-Rad. She's been playing for 4 years. We love nicknames. We love being able to use them. And camaraderie on this team seems to mean a lot. I noticed that Gracie wrote pasta parties and things like that, sleepovers. I mean, that seems to be a big deal to all of you.
Yeah, we're really close. We're pretty much like a family. We're doing a lot of team bonding this year because we want to fix our games that we could win, but we don't. So we're really focusing on team bonding this year and being really close.
Lauren, you're a center back and a big win last year. Tell me about that.
It was really exciting. It was the qualifying round of the state tournament, and we were playing Greenwich. And then it was such a close game. We went into overtime, and we scored on a corner. And so it was just so exciting. And we had all worked so hard, so it was just nice to know that all of our hard work had finally paid off.
You plan on playing in college. Do you know where you're going yet?
Not yet. I'm still weighing my options. But all I know is I want to continue field hockey in college.
For anyone who wants to answer, field hockey still kind of rides a little bit underneath the radar. We're going to do a couple of games this season ourselves, but what would you tell people, what would you tell our viewers to kind of explain the game to them, for anyone who wants to take a stab at that one? As we get silence, I should have gone directly. All right, Gracie, you're up.
All right. I'd say that it's very similar to soccer in the fact that the ball is really up for grabs when it's on the ground, and more people, it's not like a possession game. It's kind of like it's up for grabs when it's on the ground, and so keeping the ball away from the other team is really important in that sense.
So defense, big deal.
It's a lot of passing. Now they've incorporated aerial skills, so you can literally dribble the ball in the air or send it over people's heads. So that's a new thing that's more interesting, and it widens the field. But yeah, it's a little confusing. People don't really know. Can't hit your feet. It's a little weird rule, but that's right. Yeah.
See, you're helping my anxiety over doing play-by-play of the sport. I'm starting to feel better about it.
It's a really fast-paced game. And I know the whistle blows every 5 seconds because of a foul.
Well, we wish them a lot of luck this season. They've been fun to talk to for a few minutes. They are members of the field hockey team, the Bears here at Norwalk High School, joining us on the HAN network at Norwalk High School. And indeed, the field hockey program with us down at Norwalk High School on Nutmeg Sports. Don, before we head off to a break, we've got some more stuff coming up on this edition of the program.
We do. We're going to hear from Darien football and Coach Rob Trafone. And I just wanted to mention, how excited I am for these girls in the field hockey program, because some of these sports that don't get the recognition that some of the other sports do, these girls work hard. They're dedicated just as anyone else is. And I'm really excited for them to be getting a little bit of insight into what they do on a day-to-day and game-to-game basis.
I'm excited for that, too. Programs and teams and sports that I really haven't had a chance to cover over the years, so that's what it's really exciting about what we're doing around here at the HAN Network. In fact, I was talking with the executive secretary of the FCAC, John Kutzo, last week, and he said, I'm hearing from plenty of others, Rob. They want the attention. Volleyball teams would like a little bit of love as well.
Debate Society, Chess Club. We're there.
Live play-by-play of chess and debate and other things. You never know. All is in play. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Indeed, we'll speak with the captains of the Darien football team. Believe me, that was one of the wider shots we had to do all week because a lot of captains joined us. Coach Rob Trafone as well will be along for a conversation. So we'll continue on this edition of Nutmeg Sports. It's a Tuesday right here on the HAN Network. Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network with Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams, and okay, You can't run one without the other. It'd be like running a segment on the Yankees without running a segment on the Red Sox.
It's like Captain without Tennille.
Pretty much. Martin without Lewis, Abbott without Costello, Lennon without McCartney, and New Canaan without Darien. We spoke with the Blue Wave football team at Darien High School on a very sunny morning. And we also chatted with their head coach, Rob Trifone. But first up, let's meet the captains of the Darien football team, who had a lot to tell us on a variety of subjects, including, of course, the loss of a very important member of the program. But let's get to all that. These are the captains of the Darien High School Blue Wave football team.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
School means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com. Enjoy an autumn afternoon in the garden at the Garden House at Keeler Tavern Museum, 132 Main Street, Ridgefield, for Sweets and Sips, Sunday, September 20th from 1 to 4 p.m. Relax in our beautiful garden setting and enjoy classical music as you sample items from local bakeries, chocolatiers, sweet shops, and restaurants. Wine tasting provided by the area's best liquor stores, wine vendors, and local wineries. Sweets and Sips, presented by Hersom Acorn. Join us for a sweet time. For more information and to purchase tickets, please visit hersomacorn.events/Sweets and Sips.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
The 2015 high school sports season is off and running, and the HAN Network is the place for live play-by-play. This is Rob Adams. We'll have all of the action beginning Friday at 6:50 in Yorktown Heights, New York, as the Huskers of Yorktown High host the John Jay Indians. Saturday afternoon at 12:50, Weston travels to play Notre Dame of Fairfield in the opener for both squads. It's all from your home for high school sports, the HAN Network. And we're joined by the defending FCIAC football champions, the Darien Blue Wave at Darien High School. I'm Rob Adams. They're all here. Well, not the entire team, but you get the idea. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting with the quarterback down to my left.
Timmy Graham, quarterback, senior.
I'm Colin Minikis, wide receiver, senior.
I'm Hudson Hamill. I'm a safety and slot receiver, senior.
Bobby Trifone, senior, wide receiver and corner. Christian Trifone, senior, running back and safety.
Mark Ivanchik, senior, defensive end.
All right, guys. Timmy, I'll start with you. You know, we were talking about it before we came on last year, and I said this in all sincerity, one of the best football games I've ever had the chance to be a broadcaster on, and I know you guys all probably feel that same way. Down right before the half, a big score, and I was telling you in the booth, we were looking at each other going, what are we going to talk about in the second half? You guys made my job a lot easier.
Yeah, that score right before halftime was a big momentum setter, going into halftime down 21-7. It's a lot easier to come back than 21-0. Then the defense just absolutely stepped it up in the second half and got us the ball back, and we scored some big touchdowns towards the end.
Colin, I'm taking a look around at the team today, and my colleague, our director, Eric Gendron, and I are going, you guys have just seem to have everybody back. You look like you're really one of the top teams coming into this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think we returned a lot of players, but we also lost a lot. Will Hammernick, Griffin Ross, Todd Herget, Peter Archie, everybody on the skill side of the ball. But, I mean, we're very confident in our returners, and I think there's a lot of momentum coming into the season as well.
Hudson, one thing I noticed from you was how multidimensional you were, how dangerous you could be. What do you look to improve upon this year?
I think we definitely worked hard in the offseason, put on weight, trying to be more physical, the defensive presence in the run game for sure, and we've been working on blocking a lot for the skill players outside. That'll help our downfield plays a lot.
As I turn around to this side and I bring in some of the guys over here, defensively, so strong last year. Again, the same thing I asked Hudson. How do you improve on what you did last year?
I mean, we're looking to improve everywhere, even the defense. Obviously, we return our entire secondary, but we're looking to improve where the middle linebackers are, line. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, we're looking to do well this year.
The schedule is loaded. You guys are right there at the top. There's this other team that starts with an N. I don't dare mention them, but you guys will be ready for them on Thanksgiving Day. That's one of 2 games we'll have here on the HAN Network.
Yes, sir. We'll be ready for that. Don't worry. We've been doing a lot in the off season, getting together, getting our communication set, just working on getting the whole, mesh going together with our defense. So I think we're ready.
Mark, I'll finish up with you. We talked to you at the lacrosse championships, and congratulations on that once again. But at the same time, again, thinking about the schedule, thinking about how good the FCAC is, and you guys, to me right now, look as good as anybody in the conference. How do you not kind of fall back on going, oh, we're so good, we'll just, how do you stay focused coming into this year?
Well, if you look at last year, we started off against Hill House, and we kind of had that air that we didn't have to play and we could win on talent alone. I think this year we're learning off of that, and we're going to come in with more of a worker mentality. And not that we didn't work last year. I think we're going to be more prepared to kind of come out of the gates firing week 1.
We saw them a bunch of times on the HAN radio side last year. Here on the HAN network this year, we'll see them a couple of times, once against Greenwich and once against that red team just to the north. So we'll see them. They're as good as anybody in the league. The question is, who's going to knock these guys off? We thank them all for their time. It's the Darien High School varsity football team on the HAN network at Darien High School. With the head coach of the Blue Wave football team, I'm Rob Adams. He's another Rob Trefone. Coach, long time here now, 11 years, defending FCAC champion. And, I talked to a bunch of you guys before, a lot of guys coming back, but there's always turnover.
Right, and the greatest turnover is in our defensive line, where we've lost 3 out of 4, all 3 big boys, playing at the next level. We do return a Vanchek, and obviously we've got juniors and seniors that are trying to fill some big shoes.
How do you feel to put all the, kind of off the field postseason stuff? Because there was so much chatter going on in the off season regarding the championship and all this other stuff. Probably good to just get back to being on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. This particular group of seniors really looking forward to this season. And again, you talked about the chatter in the offseason and losing the state, championship by a point. I think it helped, fuel their offseason.
That championship game, since you brought it up, is there a sting to that? Does it carry? Does it motivate, or is it just you turn the page on it?
There's a sting. Yeah. Look, anytime Darien plays New Canaan, and you come on the short end, you ask Lou Marinelli, there's a sting. So, for our kids, it was a tough sting, and of course for them it was a sting on, the Thanksgiving Day. But again, I think it was a major motivator in the offseason.
Let's go back to that Thanksgiving Day game. I told Timmy Graham before, it's among the best games I've ever had the chance to watch or be a part of. And all that said, what came together? Down late first half, it seems like the game is in rough shape, but you guys make a great comeback. What changed?
I don't know that anything changed other than settling down and making a couple of adjustments that they had heard us on early, with their offense. And, of course, down 21-7 at half, we went in, to the locker room, and I could tell that this team was ready to come back. Now, whether it happens or not is another thing because they're kids, but, there was certainly an air of confidence in the locker room.
We'll see you on the field this year. Looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting year.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rob.
Coach Rob Trefone with me. He's here on the HAN Network at Darien High School. Great stuff from the guys at Darien High School. And, of course, what I was leading up to, Don, in the opening to that was that earlier we've already played back the New Canaan conversation that we had with the players and with Coach Marinelli and the wayward football that jumped into our shot as well. That was kind of fun to be able to stay and impressive that Coach Marinelli and Dave Stewart stayed calm as a football, as you saw in that interview, came flying in, hit one of our cameras, bounced almost up to me, and without missing a beat, we all just carried on, and I tossed the football in my hand.
Nice.
It's always about
did the
staying
sledgehammer
calm.
make an appearance?
No. I mean, they were complaining on Twitter that we didn't give him any love, but, we were there. Where was he?
He's
or her.
Yeah, he's a man of few words, or woman.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have not quite figured out the gender of the sledgehammer, but nonetheless, good conversations today, and we'll continue to run more of them throughout the week. And, of course, as we get ready for our first game broadcast this Friday and then a second game on Saturday, first of all, it's John Jay at Yorktown on Friday and Weston at Notre Dame of Fairfield Saturday. More shows next week, and they'll probably stay in the same format to give all of these interviews a chance to be seen and heard by everyone.
Looking forward to seeing those and participating in the conversation here. I'm also looking forward to see how Darien does if Darien, should they make the state playoffs, being in Class L. That's it's a major jump in enrollment. Not necessarily level of competition, but it's just they're now one of the small schools. I think the second smallest in Class L. So a mighty challenge ahead of the Blue Wave. They're ready for it, but we'll see how the season turns out.
I will say, and I think it was A.J. Simonowski that I was standing with, and with each player, each captain that walked over to us, it was like we looked at him and went, wait, he's back? He's back too? Oh, wait, he's back as well? That's not to say that Darien is loaded or I'm predicting them to be the champion, but yeah, it is to say that they're loaded. They're good.
They're geared for a big season, and we'll be there to watch.
Yep. I think it's a very impressive football team that I'm interested to see how they do. New Canaan's going to be good as well. I mean, we'll talk more about the FCAC football as we get into it. I'm interested to see Greenwich. Great storylines as we get going. Same goes with all the sports we'll be covering. So it's all part of what we'll be doing over the next couple of days here on Nutmeg Sports. I do thank the aforementioned A.J. Simonowski as well as Mario Recupido for keeping us on the air today. And Dom will do it again tomorrow.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks for watching this edition of Nutmeg Sports right here on the HAN Network. We again will see you tomorrow with more clips from our trip around the FCAC. So for Donald Eng, AJ Simonowski, Mario Recupido, our entire crew here at the HAN Network, I'm Rob Adams. Thanks for watching Nutmeg Sports. We'll see you tomorrow on the HAN Network.